que double check se que eu tô bom, sei. Bro, começa, trouxe. É para novo drunk cast, não tem red tem nada para assim switching para mim, bro. Essa red a ela vai le coitado, então ela que não saca.
Mas pensava, não grava 2 dias atrás outro.
Ainda é bem pensado, então.
Ainda bem ouvir que vem.
Começa drunk cast, se tu prometer a tua, meu nome é Jason, se não é o Mar.
Ah, você Jason para?
Segundo que eu sei. Então, essa nós tem special guest hours, essa não conta riba YouTube, tem se vai igual que channel lá sobre Hyro, essa nós tem Hyro conosco, Marleen. Um dia.
Wait.
Juro, é coisa importante.
Wait.
Se não é show.
Those who pay. Não, para todos os sponsors, Destiny Security, Toro, Juan Toro Rodrigues, começa a trabalho. Jason a solicitar, pero não estou batendo aqui wait limit, não. Passa na Destiny Security, botar aí trabalho, não, mas é trabalho, mano. Mas é só de coisa que não sei, vamos dar dentro de um deal com o hotel, o que não dá tu só de trabalho, não tem security, de Bobo passa contra não para den laundry, den waiter, whatever tu tá, vai não tem trabalho para trabalho tem, trabalhador falta. Na Jungle Café, saca licerto papucho, passa double breakfast, llega lá, tu bisa lá, digo, Mara mandava, tu Marta bebe whisky e come sangria lá. Isso é. Na Bonilicious, se há um bom dia, vai cobrar, não cobra, custa fregar, whatever, mas chega saca Boni, bisa cocktail ave, pero budget tá fregar. Eta trampava no problem. Até diga tem alcohol, ou algo assim, tem jeito, tá super bom. Na Fructos Health, nós temos echt bij Fructos Health. Ou anda mais se tu anda podcast aí outro sim daqui lá.
Vou dar clapa dar um change shot outra vez.
Irmão, aquele daqui que eu também investivo só. Pedi pone todo dia podcast assim na Hoops of Hope. Saca Jen, su família, Natasha tremendo trabalho com terapia usando cabay, está haciendo hobby, começando a dedicar no hobby tempo, de muito não, ao fim de grande, com nós terapia com cabay que não, então não tiram turno, tem só não conta sponsor, porque essa terapia, mas nós sabemos que está grátis, maioria terapia está grátis, pero tem certas ocasiões que vou cobrar.
Pero para você é grátis, não? Para você dá para matar bem mais não?
Não solamente isso, não tenho que pagar. E damos brother dan Alfis, Amal, ku Alfis inanang, pasinanang, tem open mic para sabra, basta ko na invitami. Sim, na invitami, mas invitami para dormir, só que o talento me não tem para ir. Então, Frenchies na preferência também. Botamos me ensinar como lo da algo.
Não, dá bem. Você multitasking não.
Sim, Frenchies da preferência, se botar ferro de karaoke, ou fujismo que vai caminho com não tem muito rubiano tawaba, você agora da cara que vai, ok, sei também. Vai Frenchies, dalgo drinks, dá shot, sa kung yung may shot ko na doon sa agad ni Dragon Ball.
Super Saiyajin. Zo'n basari ba Dragon Ball não que tá vodka Jägermeister 151 anto
anyway rumami
amaretto anto costraio
mas dia tá senti Dragon Ball assim que ela basta duro.
Mas como é? Não vou te sentir. Sai uma curva.
Na Aruba ko bisa nos ko no pomas ko on etiko abstract o me say excuse me abstract dus no para bien reagir porque essa não está falta na letras se você meter algo de web page landing page apps whatever não tá para
Vamos para comentar esse web design reels para o Instagram o TikTok whatever booting
Rosel para começar, irmão, budget tá rodinho. Para começar, começava com budget tá fica escasso, vamos papel, vai conosco aqui com qualquer outra assim com eles.
Nos brother não rolar nem.
Nos brother da shutdown da professor, aí ele uma pessoa que sai também reclamando.
Não era muito caro que vou ver isso aí, não me decora nada que passa aí.
Você vai riba bolita para ele que ele vai pegar e vai. Sakit na ba yung Wake up with the hasi. Anyway, na ma-internet sa NPC, tuloy-sunod ko ito po na plakat, panos po, hasinos, locura na. Como que yun, Yahweh, Jason.
Moment sa awit no sta ripon.
Disclaimer. Podcast will be done in English. So you have to understand English, whiskey, and a lot of bullshit talk doesn't match. Hyro, welcome. Welcome.
Thank you.
Hyro, first question. Why YouTube?
Why YouTube? I guess I was years ago messing with what I wanted to do. I have my regular job.
What's your background?
So I am a travel agent.
Okay.
So I still do that.
Yes.
With like a family business. I work with a sister, a brother, and my father.
What business is that?
Aldo Travel.
Aldo Travel?
Yes.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So it's been in business for quite a
A
long
long time. Yeah.
Yeah. But I always was interested in a video and photography and things like that. So I messed around for years with photography, and you buy all of the expensive cameras.
Yes.
And so looking for like what I wanted to do, but I always had more interest in videos than in photography. That's still the case today. And I think that with time, with all of the advancement, like nowadays, you guys know about it. You can edit yourself. There's really great software just to complement all of the great cameras that we have nowadays. So at some point, it started combining the travel with
filmmaking and vlogging.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was messing around years ago with trying to help a few guys here and there to make short movies.
All right.
And things like that. But it was always like a struggle when you have to depend on other people to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
we
know that.
I depend on Jason and
I sometimes depend on Rajan. It's not yours.
No, but it's true.
Yeah.
On Aruba we have I don't want to start by bashing anyone, but we have a tendency to be late.
Yeah.
To not say that I cannot come tomorrow.
Not the best professional mentality.
Yeah. So at some point, I started watching YouTube, especially travel vloggers.
Yes.
And I thought like, wow, that might be something I want to do. And then I got a comment from clients a couple of times years ago that why don't you travel a lot at that time, why don't you start making videos so we can see where you go?
Yeah.
So maybe we
can go
too.
It's attracting.
Yeah. So to switch that camera from being behind it to being in front of it is totally different.
Was it difficult for you?
Me? It was.
Yeah.
I still look at the first videos and I'm like,
and it's awkward and embarrassing.
Super.
Yeah. The thing is that's why this podcast is called Drunken Cast, because alcohol makes everything better. So.
It does.
It makes everything better.
Yeah. So that's the reason mostly that I went on YouTube, and when I started it, I realized very immediate that I depend on myself, and I didn't know Marleen at that time yet, and so I started, traveling. I knew that I had a few trips coming up, so I said, oh, maybe now it's the perfect time. It was at the end of 2018 and 19. We didn't know the pandemic was gonna come.
Yeah, 18. So you have about 7 years, 8 years?
Let's say 6 or 7 years.
Nice.
Yeah.
But how did you guys meet? Just you, Marleen.
So very early on, maybe you want to talk about it, but early on, you wrote to me. I had maybe a couple of hundred subscribers.
Yeah, I was giving a reaction on Instagram, I think, that I liked his videos.
Yes.
And we were in the immigration process.
Yeah.
So we were looking for videos of Aruba, and then I saw him. And So we started
Started
talking,
writing.
Was it love at first sight?
For me, yes.
Yes. you know he was using filters, right?
Yeah.
you know. No, so
So-
that's the trick. We have about 16 subscribers now, a little bit more than 16 subscribers. But so I'm married. He's married, but still we are looking. If someone is watching and you do have money, please.
Sugar mama.
No, but that's very early in the process of you being. Do you call yourself a YouTuber? Do you call yourself?
Yeah,
It's
yes,
different
now I do.
You do, yes.
I used to hate the term, and I still kind of do the term influencer.
Yeah.
But along the process, I realized that do you like the word or not, you are influencing people.
Yes, sure.
And even with your podcast
Yeah.
growing, you are influencing people and people's opinion about something.
Yeah.
So everything you do and say has to be, the way I see it at least, very responsible. We are on a very small island, so if I start, saying something ugly about our island,
Yeah.
everybody could be affected. So
Yeah.
I have to be very careful of my opinions and things like that.
Yeah.
I've been,
You can hurt.
yeah.
You can hurt business. You can
Absolutely.
hurt
Yeah.
people with
Yes.
but on the other hand, it has to be true.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I saw one of your videos with the street vendors and the street how you call it trucks. We call it
Yeah, street vendors.
and if it sucks, it sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. And your viewers demand demand is a big word, but demand that you tell them the truth because
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
if you say it's good, it's good. If you say it's not that good,
Yeah.
I might avoid it.
Yeah. We got a viewer the other day that we met personally, and he said, "Oh, by the way, I'm not gonna ride the tram downtown because you said it's not that good." And I
Yeah.
said, "Wait a minute. I
Try
said,
it.
It's beautiful.
Yeah,
You can
sure.
take Photos. You can ride maybe one stop,
Yeah.
but to think like it's used for transportation,
No.
That's not. No.
it's going super slow. They stop for like so many minutes at every stop.
Yeah.
To me, it makes no sense.
So,
And I
we-
said
we-
it in the video.
yeah.
But yeah,
One example.
the tram was made mostly for tourists, not for the locals. So
They had another plan for the tram, and it never materialized. You know, politics in Aruba. When one party goes, the other one. How do you call it?
they put a halt on the project.
On the project. The main idea was different. However, it turned out to be just what is it? 10-minute ride going back and not doing much for the main street and nothing.
Do you remember the time when they released the first information about the tram? They released information they want to do a metro cable as well from goes. I think it was supposed to go from Orionstad all the way to Savannah, post Chiquito, Savannah.
I saw that
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, because, it turns in a politics podcast. No, you know what it is in politics. You have to have grandiose ideas and to attract people. So they come with an idea and they tell them, well, we're gonna make a cable from Hooiberg to. I'm just saying something, and everybody went, well, that sounds stupid. That's crazy. And then they say, well, okay, forget the cable. We do a second and more a lesser project. Oh, we got something. So it's I don't know how you feel about Trump, but it's like the Trump system. He comes out and says something really, really dumb, and then negotiate to something worthwhile. And everybody stays, "Whoa, we got away with that."
Yeah. In between,
So,
that's it.
Yeah. So
Yeah. No, I don't. The tram, I don't. I mean, to wrap that up, I don't think per se it's either super bad or good.
yeah.
I'm just saying that the way they are doing it, and maybe there's a reason that I don't know. By the way, I'm not pretending to know everything,
no.
but to have a stop and then they stop and you see them the conductor stepping out and then taking like 10 minutes, and you see the tourists like,
No, what now?
on? Like, why are they
sure,
waiting?
sure. Yeah.
So for me, it would work better if they did like, in 10 or 15 minutes, it goes all the way to the end of the main street and comes back.
Yeah.
It's gonna work way better.
Yeah, the thing that they told me was the idea was to bring the tourists to all the way on the top of the main street by GSPs and all that. Park it so the tourists can get out and walk back.
That
So
I
they
understand.
so they can shop and window shop
Yeah.
or do the thing. Never worked like that. Never worked like that.
Because most of the shop in the end of the street is closed.
And that's right.
That's the next thing.
Window shop for what? There's nothing. There's nothing. There's business in there, but there's not much to do in the main street.
It's not like our time.
No, that was he's too young.
I'm too young.
Yeah,
I'm still a baby compared to him. Yeah, he was at the time with Simon Bolivar, so
we went to school. No, but that was every Friday was the place to be.
Yeah,
Every Friday. I left with Samaneta and went to school in San Nicolas. We took the bus, come over all the way to Rhinestad, hang out the whole day, maybe eating one French fries from Burger King or something over there, and take the bus back. And that was it. Every Friday. That was every Friday. And Jason was in kindergarten still.
but I wasn't even born yet. So.
But a question: Do business? How do you call it? Are they afraid of you, or they're welcoming you because you have that influence?
I think with time it's getting better. So I was watching a couple of your podcasts, and I could relate to a lot what they were saying. The one that you sent to me, for example, and I think that slowly but surely more and more are aware of us and they see the value. But are we where we wish we can be by now? Not necessarily. There's still some people that will doubt your work or think like,
Do you get that a lot, that people question you or
In hotels.
no, but
And the hotels,
the hotels are
certain
probably
hotels.
the most
Yeah.
difficult ones.
Let me make a list for my clients so you can skip them. But the other one we can
No, I think the bigger, so hotels are big companies, so
Yes.
they have, it's not the one person deciding something. It needs to go to maybe
Because all the
general manager.
board members come.
Yeah,
So,
and sometimes we've had cases where they say we can't decide it here. We have to ask
corporate.
corporate, and that's in US or something.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, you know what? Never
Forget
mind.
about it. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's not always been easy. Let me put it that way.
But do you target in all what in Horeca, so the hotel, cafe, and restaurant
Yeah,
industry? Do you
mostly-
target those?
Mostly anything that is
Tourist.
mostly tourism related.
Yeah. Do you have a deal with Atta?
No.
Do you like to have
We would like to.
Salmonella?
Yeah. I would like to. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Fish.
because they're I know Atta is doing a lot of good things, and they're making the effort from changing for quantity tourism to quality, and now even regenerative tourism. That's a big change, and they need the help. They need the help of us.
Yeah.
They need the help of taxis, waiters to how you call it, to sell the idea. So any influencer, or
yeah,
any
when they Atas, they are really like open for content creators, local
Yeah.
content creators in
Yeah.
Aruba,
we
compared
trying
to other businesses.
yeah,
in
we're
Aruba.
trying to get into. So maybe we can make a team and get in together. But no, yeah, because we're trying. You have to understand, Papiamento for a long time was a newspaper and plain that a newspaper. When we bought it, was I think 4 years ago. Slowly we went to change because the narrative was politics and car accident of
Yeah.
who beat who, in a fight. You know, that type of
the usual news that you see on other news outlets.
almost how you call it, Jason?
Tabloids.
Tabloid.
Almost tabloid-ish.
Sensationalism.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So we slowly changed that, and right now we have the reputation. Okay, everybody does that. Everybody is doing something different. However, our main demographic was 40 plus, because those are the ones that read. The younger generation doesn't read that frequently. Not all of them, but not that frequently. So we changed the approach to visual, and that's why all the podcasts and everything, and with really deep content. And we try to have what we call it, a fun way to bringing a conversation about deep social issues and everything, but in a fun way, so we can relate to the younger generation. And we're seeing that. We're seeing especially male viewers are picking up, and we're talking about let's say euthanasia. We're talking about a stepdad, the role of a stepdad. So we're talking about a lot of things, and some fun Mandela effect. If you have $1 million, what would you do? Some fun things, but we try to mix it up. So no, I think you should ask at least ask for the meeting with Ada, because if you
we're meaning to do it, but it's always an excuse like, no, we're too busy, but we want to do it when we're in the right moment, and things like that. But it's definitely something that we talked about. And a lot of people thought like, oh, you should go there.
You have a platform. My opinion, you have a platform that we wish we had. You understand me? You're so far ahead of us. So why not? Why not? It's been 8 years of work. It's been we're 8 years of sweating, and doing all the work that needs to be done. So
I something that I will never forget is how hard it is in the beginning for most. Some people get lucky or they're already established in something else, and then people know them, and then they get quickly to maybe 1,000 subscribers or something like that. But in the beginning, it was super difficult. Every subscriber, every day, you're like, yes, I have one.
You're happy.
And I'm sure that
we were talking.
You're not far from that.
No, we were talking yesterday. We had Arthur and Ajit,
Yes.
and we were talking about orange economy. And as Papiamento, as the newspaper, we are pushing really hard to get that sector thriving, because it exists a long time, but nobody does care about it. So we're pushing.
Believe in it, probably.
Believe in it, yes. So, and I was telling him when Jason called me, hey, we had a new subscriber. It's almost we celebrate everything. we make a drink for everything, but you're enjoying yourself, and I always when we do the podcast, I don't know why you're watching, but thank you for watching. You know, So,
we get excited. If we got 2 viewers, we get excited about it. It's probably me and him. So
I remember those times, and through the years, even early on, I remember seeing some young kids somewhere random on Aruba, and they said like, oh, they kept looking at me, and I'm like, and then he says, I know who you are. You're
do you get recognized?
A lot, yeah. But in this case, I'm meaning like local kids. And I remember the mother or someone like asked me like, how can my kid, because they're crazy about YouTube and social media, but especially YouTube. I said, you have to just start.
Yeah.
It's not going to be pretty and good in the beginning for most of us, but just start. And as I said, along the road, you will learn a few things. You will get a better camera.
Yeah, sure.
And you go from 3 views to all of a sudden you have 30, and then I still remember, that's way too good. And
where do you want to be? Let's say you have 8 years now. In 5 years, Where is the vlog gonna be? Or the channel, the YouTube channel?
So initially, I started as more of a travel content.
Yeah.
The pandemic came. It
Shut
just
down everything.
it was my plan B always. Like I knew that even before the pandemic, I knew like, oh, I'm not gonna be able to travel all the time. So I will be making Aruba content at some point to in between.
Yeah.
That was my plan. But and then when the pandemic hit, I went all out on Aruba. Excuse me. And then it became more of an Aruba content than travel. Okay.
It's a $1 billion industry. So if you have a million tourists coming to Aruba, there's the need for information, and you can always have travel vlogs from abroad coming over to Aruba and showcasing the minimum, really the Alto Vista and Shiribana, the usual. So there is not much content for everything else that Aruba has to offer.
No, we get a lot the comment that we like to watch your channel. We watch the other ones too, but we like yours the most because you are a local.
Yeah,
you know what you're talking.
Yeah.
Oftentimes, when the few times that we do go watch another one, just because someone says, "Oh, have you watched this video?" I'm like, "Okay, let me go watch it." And sometimes I hear things they're saying about Aruba. I'm like, "Okay, if you don't like Aruba, that's fine,
no problem.
But if you
don't
are
bash
telling something that is not correct, then I think that that's where the difference that we're locals, we know what's going on here compared to a vlogger that's I watched some really large vloggers that came maybe a month or two ago to Aruba, and they were saying like things. It wasn't Spanish, but they were saying things, and I was like, "Oh, jeez, this is not." And they have such large following, and that's the dangerous part of it. That people follow these people, and
for a reason.
I'll tell you. I'll give you an example of what they said. So they drove around in an ATV vehicle, I think, and they went to the North Coast. They said that we lived there because they saw the houses they built on the North Shore, the wood, and
ranchos,
like that. Ranchos. And then they went to the baby beach, and it happened to be a rain. We had some rain in the last few months. It happened to be a rainy day.
Yeah.
So they went back and said in the video, "Oh, if you're coming to Aruba for beaches, this is not the place. We've seen much better beaches."
Yeah.
And I said, "Wait a minute.
Yeah.
I think that totally wrong."
But do you use when if you think that information, do you use their content to make fun of their assessment?
No.
Can I do that?
It's one of the very few times that I mentioned in one of my videos about another vlogger, or I didn't even even now I'm not mentioning their names.
No.
But we did get a few people say, "Oh yeah, we watched that video," because they're quite popular. I think they easily got like 500,000 views.
Yeah.
I don't have videos that get 500,000 views
yet.
No, like I'm happy with the views I get.
Yeah.
But I've never gotten a really viral video.
Yeah. Okay.
I consider myself more like consistent.
Yeah.
I consistently get a certain amount of views.
So how many video posts per?
Usually once a week.
Once a week.
And there are times that we manage to do 2. But it's mostly once a week.
Once a week.
Yeah.
And you edit yourself, you do everything yourself.
Yeah. She has a channel also, TravelDutchie. Yeah. If you want to tell a little bit about it.
That's your own channel. Because I saw a video with you with the Q&A, and she was with you.
Correct.
But you have your own channel.
Yeah. I started, I think, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Maybe 1.5. Yeah, because you say, well, why you don't give it a try? I love to make videos, short videos, photos, and then I started, and I like it.
And it's going
good.
Well,
I have 3,000 subscribers now, so it's going well.
I hate you already. We don't have 3,000.
So she creates more vertical formats. So not TikTok, but
no.
vertical and. but occasionally now we've been trying a little bit longer content, horizontal.
And
also
then collab
there.
between you two.
Yeah, we help each other for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she.
Is it in Dutch? You do it in Dutch or
English.
English?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but one of the reasons also is that I haven't done a lot of vertical content myself.
Okay.
And sometimes when I do some research, it says like maybe it might hurt your channel, it might not, and so I try to stay a little bit away from it.
Yeah,
But I always have it in planning. But I'm like,
I think. Yeah, with 16 subscribers, I would know. Yeah, no, but if you see the bigger channels, they have both, and
Yeah,
it's a
yeah.
compliment for both. So they have the short films, they have the regular films. I even see a trend in making longer films, like 1 hour, one and a half hours, and in the past, it was no, people don't have the attention span to see one and a half hour. But the bigger YouTubers, Mr. Beast, and all those, they're spending, because they're spending a lot of money. They're making a film. It's not a video anymore. They're making content that is elaborate, a lot of millions of dollars.
A lot of production behind it as well. So
Yeah, and for half an hour.
some YouTube videos now on YouTube are basically Hollywood's production type of thing. The custom, like
If you
Mr.
see,
Beast
if you see
itself.
the Beast Games,
Yeah, the Beast game that costs a lot of money to
Yeah.
produce.
yeah, but the Beast Games came from the
Squid Games.
Squid Games.
Yeah, it was inspiration.
Episode that
They
was
did their
one
own
of the
Squid
best.
Games version, then they did the Beast
and
Games.
it was one of the best of that he did. So
it has never been for me like I'm gonna make a video 5 minutes or
Yeah.
6 minutes, because Jason doesn't like long videos.
Yeah.
Because if you start doing that,
Mm.
then it's your ideas and your focus is gonna be somewhere else, instead of making just the best video you can. And if at some point people don't like it, then you can adapt later on.
Sure. Yeah.
And the other benefit is that, it might be something that these guys have, is the longer the video, the more money you can earn with.
Yeah, sure.
So
sure,
if
sure,
it goes, in their cases, like it goes millions of views,
yeah,
and all of these millions, they watch the whole thing,
Yeah.
which usually they do, because those videos are incredible.
yeah,
Then they'll start earning more money than if the video is 5 minutes or,
Yeah,
or
sure.
8 minutes. Usually for YouTube, it's like the cut is like 8, 16, 24,
yeah.
like that.
And Marleen, the content that you produce,
A lot of nature.
nature.
Yeah, I like nature, animals, plants. But I like to capture things that other people don't see, like
Yeah,
little
yeah.
creatures and on the beach. Yeah.
And how you produce one film a week also? or
Most of the time, one a day.
one a
short,
day. Short.
like
Okay.
15 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I try to make a video every week, but
Yeah.
I have some
Do you have?
issues with my health. but-
He's working in a family business, but
Yeah.
do you have also
Yeah,
a full-time
I
job?
work every day at the Fantastic Garden in the morning.
Okay.
Outside with
Okay,
the
okay.
plants, helping people, and yeah.
Yeah,
it's
I
very
need
nice.
help. I like to grow marijuana, but still they don't allow. They
That's
don't
a question I get a lot.
allow. Really?
Yes.
I thought that was funny.
No.
I'm
It's funny.
standard.
Do they ask that in Fantastic Garden?
Really?
Where are the marijuana plants? I don't want.
Was one of those customers a person named Omar?
Not yet. Not yet. Next week.
Yeah.
No. Okay. And do they care? Do Fantastic Garden have a say in you making videos, or did you have to tell them? Because
Yeah.
it's a family owned, so it's different.
And they don't like that I film when I'm working, and they're every day they're seeing me because I can't stop it. I see
Yeah,
like.
But
Uh,
did you tell? It isn't right anymore, no?
No, I see him a lot, but
Yeah.
his kids are taking it over.
Did you tell them you have 3,000 subscribers?
I
don't
think
think that you tell them.
No.
Because if they know you have 3,000 subscribers, they should comment over and do you need pastichi or something? Please.
Okay, I can tell them.
They should.
Can
They should go.
bring
Why are you not filming?
Yeah,
You're supposed to be.
Film.
yeah, because it attracts people.
Yeah.
and nature lovers.
That's
Yeah.
what we were saying just
Yeah.
then, that the belief here is that, oh, it's a hobby.
Yeah, and that's the thing
You're
we
doing it
talk.
because you don't have anything else to do, or
Yeah. And we
you're
talk
not gonna get
we talk
anywhere.
about that
There was a topic from
the last
yesterday
episode,
about
yeah, because the mentality in the orange economy, it's oh nice, you have a hobby, you're doing fine, you know. Oh, you're playing with cameras and filming this, can I be in it, you know, that hobby mentality. And they don't see it as an industry, and they don't see it as a business, they don't see it growing. And maybe ignorance, maybe not educated, maybe we have to do a better job of promoting it and selling
And
it.
not even starting, and the same thing, starting with the cost of cameras,
Really?
laptop, microphones,
You know what?
lights.
My opinion, you know, everybody has an opinion, but my opinion is that when TikTok came around, everybody could do something. Filming on your phone, maybe using CapCut, and producing a small.
one of the largest content creator from Aruba came from that, and the Cruz Bros.
Your Cruz
They
Brothers.
started with back at the time it was called I think lyrically, with the lyrically, then it changed to musically. After that, it became TikTok. But
Yeah.
they like right now they have like 35 million
Yeah,
subscribers,
but
and not even they get the recognition from the local people,
They're
from local
really,
business.
really big.
They're the
but
biggest.
not in Aruba.
They say, and I've had people tell us that you're never king in your own country.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So,
yeah. But
yeah, in their
it's
case,
time.
it's a
It's
perfect
time.
example.
Maybe it's time that we demand, because let's talk business. I have a newspaper, and I would love for you to give a good review of my newspaper, because it will attract traffic, it will attract new readers, it will bring a new audience to my business. If we were speaking solely about business, the influencer, the TikTok, the YouTuber, everything has an audience, like you said, and a following. So if you tell them, listen, don't eat by Jason, go by Marleen, they will probably
Yeah.
do that. Some will say, fuck it, I will try Jason, and after that, well, that's why Hyro told me. So,
We've had also, and I tell a lot of stories, but we've had a lot of, let me say, restaurants or spots
yeah,
where we went there maybe a couple of years ago to film, and they were like, they have no idea who we are. That's okay. But we come in and we say, no, we have this channel, we show it, like, okay, but you're local. Okay, you want to film there? Okay, film.
yeah,
And we film, we make a vlog, we leave. Maybe we go there 6 months later or a year later, and they're like, oh, we're sorry, but we had no idea what you were doing.
Yeah.
We thought we just wanted to film something for yourself.
yeah.
And then what happened was they started getting tours where they never got tours.
Yeah, and telling them we came here because we saw Hyro.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a long time ago, I think it was not even when I bought the newspaper. I was always doing, because I have a technical background, nothing about journalists or news and everything. It was opportunity that came and we took it. And I went to Marina Pirata by Ricky Duncan, Ricky, yeah. And I was telling them, listen, can I come with the film crew in the morning? Because the chef at night, when they're busy, they won't allow you to get in the kitchen. And the idea was, can I film in the morning, the chef preparing a dish, and we come back at night when it was packed, when it was full. So the viewer will see the when they prepare the dish, and where we are eating, and he never said yes, but, or it was always happy. When do we do the project? It never materialized. It never materialized because it was too soon. in my career or in my I didn't have a film crew. I didn't have nothing. It was just an idea, but he was always friendly and always helping. And that idea we still have, because we have a channel in AM News that's all in English. And we promote it in the US. We don't promote it in Aruba, but only in the US. Right now, we're getting a chain of hotels, and we're talking about them putting a QR code in at each room, so they can scan it and go to the website, and it generates traffic.
Yeah.
But with the main idea, where to eat, not only where to eat, because when people ask, well, what's a good steakhouse? Well, a good steak, you can LG there's a lot. Some local. Well, there is by Iki in Zeelovers. You can get fish, but really, really good Arubian food. Yeah, there's a couple, and we want to portray that. We want to let people know. Well, you have LG Steakhouse. You can go by Peanuts. They have a steak.
Yeah.
They're not considered a steakhouse or a steak business, but there's a restaurant. You can go by the Chinese. They have steak also.
Yeah.
So it depends on your budget, and depends on what you want to eat, the flavors. And that's an idea that we have, and we have to spend. We just have too much projects, and it was not a priority of the number one priority. But we have to go there because, like I said, it's $1 billion business.
Yeah.
And at the end of the month, Jason is telling me, well, I need a raise again.
Again.
So it's always no, but he still asks.
It never hurts to ask. It never hurts to ask.
I made him an owner.
Yeah.
So no telling me I need my salary.
Yeah, I need the money to pay the debt to the business.
No, but you have a platform, and I would love, if I have a restaurant, I would love to. Hey, do you want to come tomorrow? Next week too? Because I have a lot of dishes. You can try everyone, because there's something for everybody. You can travel.
We want you guys to film a mukbang here at the restaurant.
I think you can travel the world in the culinary business of Aruba.
Yeah.
Because
we're just talking about that. We started a new series this year.
Mm-hmm.
We're at the very beginning of it. We just filmed 2, and we still have to continue.
Mm-hmm.
But literally what you said.
Mm-hmm.
So we choose a country.
Yeah.
From just a bowl with a couple of papers in it. We're like,
Yeah.
okay, today we're gonna go. Let's say we went to Peru and we
Yeah.
went to Suriname,
Yeah.
and the idea is just that.
Yeah.
To
Traveling.
So the first 2 restaurants we went, so like
You can say it.
commercial.
No, you can
No, just say it.
We went to El Chalang,
Uh-huh.
and we went to Patches in Taquilende.
Taquilende, yeah.
And so we noticed there already with those 2, which are not, like the fanciest places.
Yeah.
But we locals know about those places.
Yep, sure.
And we get from the feedback, the comments
Yeah.
already. They're like, "Oh, you have to continue. Like this
Yeah.
is good. We
Yeah.
want to know those more
You
local
have
places."
Indonesia,
Yeah.
well, the usual. No, you have the American steak, you have Indonesian, you have.
I
But
started counting.
there's a Filipino.
Yeah,
on the
we
island.
have that one. Yeah.
You have Ecuador. You have Argentinians.
Yeah.
There's so much.
It's incredible for such
Yeah.
a tiny island how much we have, and
Yeah.
that's just going directly to one. If you just go to any restaurant,
Yeah.
you can have almost an unlimited amount of vlogs.
I think is your channel monetized?
Yes.
And is it a living or not yet a living?
It is almost, let's
Almost
say,
a living.
almost,
Yeah.
yeah, but not quite.
Not quite.
No, if I quit my job,
Your brother and
your
sister will
regular,
be pissed.
your regular,
I would assume your brother and sister will be pissed.
yeah. So if I quit my job,
Yeah.
that's the thing. Your YouTube is not consistent enough,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
not
Okay.
enough to only be living of that.
Yeah.
And you still have to pay the taxes from it and things like that to file it.
From
so you do
from
a
your
company.
YouTube income, you have to pay taxes in Aruba or in the States.
Right now, I have it changed. So now they're deducting a couple of months ago, they started deducting it in the States. So I'm gonna have to take a look.
Do you have an LLC or something in the States, or
No.
you're planning to
That's
open
here.
a
That's
LLC?
here.
Oh, only,
No, it's only here. Yeah.
only here. So
Yeah.
they're taxing you double.
But how did you?
But we have to
Yeah.
take a look at how.
Yeah.
How were you able to monetize it from Aruba?
So first of all, you have to be in that list of countries that you are able to monetize.
Okay.
I don't know if that's still the case, but I'll give an example that I've heard that in Curacao you are not able to. I don't know. Maybe that changed. I'm not sure. We had a friend in
Saint
St. Martin,
Martin.
Ricel, for example. She was not able. I'm not.
No.
I think she's now. I'm not sure. But I would have to ask her. So it starts first with that, and then the other thing is then you have to have 1,000 subscribers,
Yeah.
and then you have to have 4,000 view hours. And speaking of that, like in your case, when you do get to 1,000 subscribers, you'll easily get to the 4,000 view hours. So view hours basically you have an hour vlog and the person watched the whole thing. You have one view hour. Then you need 4,000 in a year.
Yeah. Okay.
That's where long videos help you also.
Yeah. Because they get you there sooner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even if you don't watch the whole video, you still get the
already-
minutes.
You're monetized too?
Yeah.
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 Since
I like you guys.
6 months, I think.
Yeah. Something.
You're monetized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
It works.
It works.
But it's for me, it's like 70 euros. For me, it's in the Netherlands.
Yeah.
But yeah,
No,
That's
it
a
works.
start.
No.
Yes,
No.
I like to make it. So.
But
You can almost buy a whole carton of eggs.
Yeah.
yeah, it's getting crazy. But you know what it is? It's money that you can spend upgrading film equipment, upgrading this, and maybe I would consider this idea that I had greenhouse, so you can do that content indoors, controlled with light.
Yeah.
You know, the film aspect. You can control it.
Like a studio.
Yeah, like a studio, but
Yeah.
a greenhouse.
Yeah.
Because ladies says it? No.
What?
I'm trying to remember a flower, and I got a lot of backlash about it.
How does it look like?
There's orchidea. There are orchids. There's a club. Orchids Club, Aruba, and everything. So I wrote an article telling, oh, it's a beautiful, and this specific type and flowers and colors and this. And too bad that Aruba doesn't have own markets. Well, the phone starts ringing. Aruba does have. And I say, oh, sorry. So I went to Facebook. Hey, I'm sorry. After finding more information, Aruba do have an orchid that is on, and the phone starts ringing again. It's not true. So there are two camps in Aruba. One saying yes, one saying no, and I was in the middle, getting backlash from both sides. So no, but that's a thing, and orchids is it's a hobby, but it's a really good business hobby.
Yeah.
People spend a lot of money in that kind of So,
I know.
Yeah. Do you have orchids?
Yeah. Very
Oh, there goes your camera.
Did you happen to write a hate mail against?
And do Aruba have an own orchid or not? And you're getting to get
So
the
a
backlash now.
local orchid.
We hike a lot, and
I think no.
we've seen things that look like an orchid.
Yeah,
and
but it wasn't.
Yeah, the thing is that there was a celebration on the Orchids Club, and they didn't invite me. I don't know why. No, but the thing is, they said, well, the one that they're calling Arubian orchid came from Trinidad, and it is a different pattern of flower of colors that those in Trinidad, but it's the same plant. So there are people saying no, because of the different color patterns and everything, it's a unique one.
Became
Yeah, and the other one said no, it's still a Trinidad one
Yeah,
with a
it's
different
different.
color. So they're
yeah.
and they're always 50 plus ladies with a lot of money and a lot of time to
That's
write to write things.
But that's interesting though that like this story,
Mm,
like we do tourism related videos. You have a podcast, maybe for now Orange Economy.
Yeah,
promoting
we do
it.
everything.
By the way, I think
Yeah.
that's really good.
Yeah,
But at the same time, you can do anything
Yeah.
on YouTube.
yeah.
Any
Did
hobby
you
have,
explore
any-
other branches?
Or
Or it was always tourist?
No, for me it's this for now.
Yeah.
I don't
And-
think I'm going to, at least for now, do anything else. No,
You
I'm
could.
totally focused on this
Yeah,
one.
yeah, but
Yeah,
still.
the time. If,
Yeah,
if
the
I
time.
was doing YouTube full time, maybe I would have the whole week to, plan and execute the whole project.
And
but-
sponsors? Do that make a factor?
No,
No
not,
factor with sponsors?
I mean, if we get them, maybe, but
You will accept them.
but
yeah.
we don't
Yeah.
have a stable sponsor. Let's say
No.
we do get sometimes people sponsoring us, yes, but not very.
Occasionally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's for a project.
that's
Because-
mostly for a project.
yeah.
Yeah,
I would imagine the gastronomic thing of Aruba, the foundation. I don't know if it's a foundation organization. Yeah, would like to sponsor you doing that project of eating one restaurant
Yeah.
coming from a
Yeah.
different part. I would assume that they will be interesting.
yeah. We definitely plan to contact.
Yeah, ask them.
Yeah.
I know the man's name, but with the whiskey this early. No, but I know. I was talking to him a lot of about projects and everything, and he's a nice person, business minded. I think his family has I Love Peru of the restaurant. I think they're in there, and he has such a feel for the tourists, the clients,
Yeah.
and one aspect that we were talking about when the pandemic hit, most of the restaurants either closed or had a special price for locals. And when it was over, instead of keeping that special price for locals, they went away and they started charging like tourists. And I was telling one friend of mine, he has a pizza, not a chain, but he's a pizza restaurant. And I was telling them, listen, when you were having problems, no tourists, it's the locals that save your ass.
Yeah.
And now you're double crossing them.
Turning your back.
Yeah, and I was so pissed, and he was, listen, but it's the same. He was telling me that meal costs the same, of course, the same, have the same value, but in dollars. If I do it with locals, my margin of wins is I tell them, I'm not telling you to change your price with that local price, but still give the locals something back
Yeah.
because they help your ass when the pandemic.
Maybe once a week.
Yeah, something local night.
hours.
Do something, and we're still fighting.
Yeah.
And he's not my sponsor. I have a business, and he's not my sponsor because we're still fighting. And I will tell him, well, I will eat a Domino's pizza before going to your place. Fuck off. Yeah, because don't turn your back on those who save your
Yeah.
business. And I know a corporate. They have, I think, 9, 10, 11 restaurants. And the owner in a meeting told me, that's no problem. I will close 9 and stay with 2 open. He did. He sent everybody, chefs, every waiter, everybody home. He closed 9 because the Aruba mentality was, I have savings. Let's try to save it. Let's try making it happen. He didn't. He shut down 9 of his restaurants, stay with 2 open, and after the pandemic, I will hire new ones. I don't care.
It's
And that's a different mindset to do
so
business.
the selfish mindset, basically.
But he has money, I don't. So
Yeah.
maybe. But apart from the project of going to restaurants with destiny in mind, do you still travel and do vlogs?
We do have some travel coming up next month. Next 4 months, we have to travel twice, and we do hope that to make content. We're not necessarily traveling to make content in this case. One is travel, family related, I mean.
Okay.
But we're definitely gonna try to film something.
Yeah.
And in July we're going to Bonaire for a week, so we're looking forward to that. We haven't filmed there yet, so
You never filmed.
I've been there, but
never
so
filmed.
long ago, never
Yeah.
filmed. So we have filmed in Curacao a
Yeah.
few times, and
Do you dive?
no, I have problems with my ear.
Yeah,
and
okay.
I mean, we do snorkel, but
Yeah.
diving, I don't dare
Bonaire.
it.
I
Yeah,
used
know
to.
it's-
Now I'm the boy that he used to get afloat.
Yeah.
Bonaire is so beautiful,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
beautiful.
Now they use them as an anchor.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
In the old time.
At least you're useful for something.
No, I think Bonaire has some locations that are better diving spots than Aruba has.
Yeah.
The thing is, Aruba is most accessible. Their safety is good. And not that Bonaire safety isn't good, but Bonaire has some places, and depends on the day, the clarity of the water and everything. And there is fish, there is not, but it's some beautiful places. And Bonaire has what call it national days, Dia de Rincon and everything that it changes the whole life because there's not much to do in Bonaire. It's I think there are 50,000 people right now. Yeah, they're really low, and it's a third Dutch, a third Latino, and a third Bonaire. So to make sure it's very and but Bonaire has beautiful history, beautiful people. So I think you will enjoy
Yeah.
filming there.
She hasn't been to Bonaire either, so
Oh, you will enjoy.
No.
You know it's if you're looking for nightlife, if you're looking for exciting, really big adventures, no, that's not the place for you.
Yeah.
If you enjoy sitting at the beach, reading a
Sleeping.
book, yeah, that's you know.
No.
Yeah.
Fiestas.
Yeah, but you know, there's a point in your life. You've been there, you've done that, so now you want peace, tranquility.
We like one of the reasons probably that we chose it also is the we like nature, we like hiking here. We like filming it, but we don't always feature it because most people they want to see the beach. If we show Eagle Beach every day, we're probably gonna get views every day.
Yeah.
But we try to focus on, like she said, to film things that say look deeper into other stories or other places. Show that Aruba does have nice beaches, but the next week I'll show you that we have great hiking trails.
Yeah.
And you start appreciating when you make these vlogs
Yeah.
your own island again.
Yeah.
Because when we live here, we talk about politics just a moment ago, and you're like, oh, I don't like politics.
Yeah.
I don't like politics. But there's so much more than just the beaches.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of presenting all.
And I think that's the mentality that is your success, because by doing some research, and I was asking Jason, who has the biggest YouTube on Aruba, who is doing what, and because really we don't know. We know, but we pretend to know, but we actually don't know. And there's Cassandra that has a lot of followers. The Cruz Brothers that has a lot of followers, but Cassandra has 4 months.
Cassandra, she used to post a lot more.
Yeah.
There's more consistency.
She's the daughter of Sandra.
And then I think the last video she posted was 4 months ago as a filming.
Yeah, and maybe study, maybe.
But yeah, she started 15 years ago. She was the first
and
Aruban YouTubers.
Makeup vlogs and
and
everybody, because but I think she has about how many followers that you?
Zo die yoga.
She has 180 something, I think, subscribers. 180,000,
A decent for Aruba.
not
For
1,000.
Aruba, a decent,
It's a
really, really good number.
Yeah.
But it's 180 something.
But when did you see
thousand?
her featuring in Atas traveling guy? You know, we have such a talent in Aruba, and why we're not showcasing those talents? And that's one one of the reasons we wanted to talk with you, because we want to be hopefully not in 8 years, but what you have right now, and in a couple of years you'll be further, and that's all right, that's fine. But you're paving the way for us to come and doing it easier, because you've done it already. You did the hard work.
I didn't start. I'm 51 now. I didn't start when I was young, because that's something else that, like, maybe Jason, not so much, but let's say we are probably like the same age.
49, turning 50.
So like more or less same age.
That is weird. The beard will give it away.
And so normally they would tell you, no, you're too old for that.
Yeah.
So when I started that, somewhere in my mind I was like, maybe I'm too late. And it's been nice to see that I wasn't. Even now the more, because I don't only produce, I also watch a lot of YouTube to learn how to make better videos.
We do too. Yeah.
What's the trend telling you to do, and things like that. And even if you're 60, 70, even 80 years old, some people start, and they'll start something that there's a market for it.
It clicks. Yeah.
And you're good.
Yeah.
If you can start talking on camera, you're basically
and that's the thing, because in our case, the best advice that we got is be yourself. And I told them, well, I'm a kind of an asshole, and I'm being myself. And they say, well, there's always a market for being an asshole. So we're being.
That's how we started drunk. That's basically.
We talk like this if we are drinking, we are smoking a cigar, or just hanging out. Well, in a restaurant, I will behave a little better, because I've been thrown out. No,
But that's until the first glass of whiskey drops.
No, I always drink whiskey. I always that's one thing. And we have a program, and they're kind of mental health, in a mental health niche, and they're talking about suicide and help for suicide. So really tough spot. And I'm coming with my whiskey, and she told me, well, you need help. I know I need help. That's why I'm drinking. But you have. I can maybe Arubans are humble. Arubans by nature are really laid back and humble, and they don't like to gloat, But you're doing a really, really good job on promoting the island, and not only promoting the island, but paving the ways for us or other content creators on the island to have something to look up to. Because the Cruz brothers are good, but they are funny. I'm not funny. They have the talent that I don't have. So, but I can eat. I can go to a restaurant. I can go to a hotel, and I can tell them, well, let's do something, some project together. And they always open. And the experience that I have, maybe because I have a newspaper or something, but the experience is when I tell them, well, let's do something together. Oh, yeah. Make a plan.
It's how do I say this? It's easy to sit at home with your phone or whichever way you watch the content and say, oh, this is stupid. Oh, this is not good enough. But when you go, you have to do it. You have to figure out from the simple idea to posting it and then promoting it. You're like,
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
I have the blessing to have
It's like
Jason.
with sports also. It's
You
easy
have to
to watch a baseball game and say,
and criticize.
the guy can hit the ball. And
The best
you stand
managers
there.
are always in the stand.
So that's something I had to learn the hard way through the years. And you do get some criticism so now and then, and I'm like, no, just stay stay my course.
Stay focused,
Stay focused. Keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Here and there, I do post videos that I'm like, oh, I could have done this a little bit better. I could have put more time into it. But the one of the key factors and things for me has been also the consistency.
Yeah.
You know, like with her also, like you're consistently, your followers, like if you're filming a podcast now and you say, okay, I'm going to plan one podcast a week.
Yeah.
Your followers are going to start expecting that every Friday you'll have a podcast.
And a week,
If you start skipping a month and then after that you come again, you put one, oh no, guys, we're back and we're going to be stronger than ever. And then no. That, especially on YouTube at least, it's going to kill you. It just takes time to restart.
It's the same as in the news business of Aruba, because we are used to a certain kind of news, and Almeida is not producing that kind of news, okay? And
Almeida is becoming more analysis and more deep dive articles in comparison to tabloids.
Skip, because once at a time I write something and I want to write something that's popular, you know, and they call me, did you write that? Yeah, I did. Yeah, that's not our mind, because they're already programmed to expect data and source. So when that's gossip, man. You're not producing gossip, and then I will tell them, well, I fucked up already, you know, but because sometimes you see all the traffic and some business. Our Mainta core business is at revenue. So if we don't get the ads, we don't have the money to do all this. So sometimes they call you and you need more traffic. You know, you need. I'm not a business for Facebook. I'm not a business from Instagram. I have a newspaper. People read our newspaper. We have over 5,000 people reading newspaper each day.
Yeah.
And that's good. Compared to Diario and the Aruba in the glory days, that's not enough. But in these days, we are bigger the newspaper. But we have a certain follower, well educated, well spoken, and they expect that from articles. So you can't come with bullshit and tell them, well, that's news, and because they will call you. They will call you out. So, and I have a question for you.
And they will literally call you out. They will call here at
call you out.
8 in the morning. Hey, what?
Having a partner that also in the industry, does it help? Does it make it easier than having a partner? Maybe you with your stupid camera again. You know, you could have different partner, but having Marleen in the same industry and knowing what it takes to make a film, knowing what efforts needs to be, does it help for you too, Marleen? Yeah,
it helps. Yeah, and since I'm doing it, I understand him
better.
Much better.
Yeah.
What a lot of work.
Yeah, the stress.
The stress.
Yeah.
Because the public will see, they published a video.
The end result.
Yeah, and you watch it and you're like, oh, it's nice.
You like it or not?
Yeah, it's good or not. Okay. But oftentimes, especially the vlogs, because we do mostly two types, so except with yours, the shorts is a little bit different, but we do walks, and which is fairly easy. It's like almost a podcast, only I'm walking on the street, stuff. Yeah. And the other one is the vlog, so it's more like, with all cuts, with nice shots of the whiskey and whatever.
Yeah.
Those take a lot of time to edit. So sometimes I'm like, even this week I've been like for so many nights already cutting. And I'm like, when I look at the end of the night, I'm like, I've edited 2 minutes of video.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make it by tomorrow. So tomorrow I'm publishing, hopefully a day. I'm not ready with tomorrow's vlog. And you push each other a little bit. She understands
and she gives you the space, the time, because she understands the process. She understands how difficult it is, and the frame of mind. That's a question that I have for everybody we interview. The frame of mind. Do you have to be in a good. Mental health is very important, but when you're stressed, when you're trying too much, it becomes difficult to
Yes.
achieve things.
Yeah.
So, what do you do to combat that?
That is definitely something that sometimes we plan if it's not an official filming. So like if I'm not committed to a business or to like coming here or something, but we just like okay, tomorrow we're gonna film. But sometimes you wake up and you're like, oh, I'm telling her like I don't feel it today.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
just I'm not gonna be myself.
yeah,
I don't feel it. I'm not creative enough, and that's something that most of us get
Yeah.
so now and then. I think with the shorts it's a little bit easier because it's more like
filming the whole day.
very short.
Yeah.
You know,
But you
1-2
film
seconds.
all day and then you choose what
Then
what to post, what to do.
Yeah, then I hear a sound from
Uh-huh.
another short what I'm watching, and then I think, oh, now
Yeah.
I'm gonna make something,
Yeah.
and it's good for my
Yeah.
mental. Yeah.
I can understand that.
And
Yeah.
she has
That's really nice.
like your phone
library.
is constantly
Yeah, full. Yeah, a library. Yeah,
Oh
With-
my god.
with
a
stuff.
portfolio full of
Yeah,
material.
But then she can easily go back and say I filmed something a year ago, but
And,
it
you
matches
reuse
what
it,
I'm
yeah.
using
And
now.
you use it now, yeah.
Yeah.
And in your case, that's different because the content is different.
Yeah,
But when you film, do you film for a vlog? Do you film with a, and for example, for an episode already in mind, or you just film as you go?
It depends on the vlog. So most of the time we do have a plan.
Yeah.
We do have an idea. In some cases, depending on what it is, we actually put it on paper sometimes. In our case, mostly just not to forget things. Like we're like, okay, we have to go these steps. I have to get these shots and things like that. But we've been, I don't know if I'm, we've been on the run like, how do we say, what's the English term? Like we don't make it too difficult for ourselves.
Okay.
And and that's for me the beauty of YouTube is that you're not filming something for TV quality necessarily.
Okay.
Because we
Yeah.
have that tendency that
Yeah.
oh, my production needs to be so perfect that otherwise still Aruba or back then ATV
Yeah,
or one of
yeah,
those other
yeah.
channels they're not gonna accept
They didn't ask you to use your content
no, I was invited though one time for an interview.
For an
maybe
interview.
3 years ago already.
Yeah, so
that was
Lost my
Ivan
income?
Kele. Yeah,
Lost-
Ivan Kele. Yeah.
That was
He's
very
doing.
nice. Yeah,
The rest is suck. Yeah, the rest of the Aruba needs to change
yeah.
because I think we have so much young producers, young artists like Jason and Reggie that have so much ideas.
That's the thing that I when I was watching some of your vlogs, your podcast, I said, I see so much talent on Aruba that I don't know. I don't see myself like the most talented videographer or the best on camera or the best this or that.
Yeah.
There's so much talent,
Or-
but there are not enough people believing
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
talent.
Sure.
Many of them are the younger generation,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
our generations and younger, maybe.
Yeah.
And it's
But
unfortunate
imagine what you can produce if you have the financial power behind you.
Yeah.
Imagine if you can say, well, you have brainstorming meeting on what we're gonna film this week, and you have people filming it for you, and you come in and do your thing. Imagine the production that we could produce as Island, as Aruba. And that's where we wanna get because
But so we talk with the guys from Regis Bahari, those
Yeah.
Ephraim and Beach, and was only way this to work for. I have to say, but the government to take the creative arts seriously. That's we need to work. We need to work together.
yeah.
Because that's the only way I see that we can do something with the
And which,
creative economy.
I have a business. I have a newspaper. We have a newspaper, and we can choose, or the employers can choose to say, well, you're spending a lot of time and money on those shit. Pay me more. They have the right to say, well, hey, listen, that's fun and that's very cute, but what about my salary? What about but they choose to believe in this dream, and they tell me, well, okay, hey, do your thing.
Yeah.
When you make it, we'll make it. And that's a nice mentality to have. This. So we have a small group. We have, I think, 9 people working here,
Yeah.
and they have a nice mentality of creative and giving us the space and opportunity, because they can say they're allowed to say, well, I work for you, so instead of paying me so much, I need more money.
Yeah.
They can do that, but they have
But before she was living here, I remember I went to a potential client,
yeah
and so when I get there, I'm alone.
yeah
And the guy says to me, he's, a lot of people know him on the island, and he's like, "Where's your crew?" And I'm like, "Here it is.
Yeah.
I'll do everything."
Yeah.
He's just like, "But I've seen some of your videos. You must have people helping you." I'm like, "Once in a blue moon, someone helped me with driving a car because I need a car shot or
Yeah,
something."
yeah.
But that's it. Ideally, of course, I would love to have a budget where I can pay a camera guy or
Yeah.
two,
Yeah.
and then pay an editor, so I can focus more on the content and,
Yeah.
and being on camera and producing and being
that-
better
that's
at that.
where, yeah,
Focus entirely on what I'm going to produce and let that other part to other
Yeah.
folks. That's not always
the case
financially possible. It's quite difficult
Yeah.
for what we are earning with it. It's
Yeah.
basically
No, but let's say my point of view is this. I have a production team, okay? Because all the things that you do, I don't give a damn. I just tell Jason, make it happen, and somehow
Yeah,
makes it happen.
it's either I say no, fuck you. It's either-
So
not gonna happen.
my point of view is my idea was, and I was telling Ajay and Arthur with Go Cultura and Gis Bahari, because we're doing the groundwork and talking to everybody. But in your case, what about we have a film crew of a production team,
Yeah.
and we all use that same production team, because if you're gonna hire someone, it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
But if we hire a team all together, it's less. The only thing is the scheduling and everything. But you have a quality production team. You have a good people that do sound, do everything, so you can put all your effort in the content.
Yeah.
And that's why we can. I would like that Ahata, especially in your case, doing content that promotes Aruba, that promotes the business in Aruba. Even Marleen in nature, because we're Ata is trying.
But even nature is also part of Aruba. I'm really surprised that Ata didn't contact you guys yet.
No, but I
because
know
they
why.
are open to
but I know-
local content creators.
You have to understand that Ata is going through a mind change. From we need tourists, so get me assets in the plane so they can come to Aruba. Now they change from, okay, those that come to Aruba, they have to spend. All right. And now that, okay, wait. Those that come to Aruba have to spend and don't destroy the island. So the criteria is always changing for us. So I understand their point of view, that they're, well, let's see it, let's play it out and make a decision and see how it goes. But in that case, if you're talking about a tourist that love nature, that appreciate the smaller things, appreciate a hike, and some trails, some obscure but forgotten trail, and with beauties that most of the
and there are so many trails, hiking trails in Aruba that many people don't know about. People usually go to the same ones, the Arikak or the Yamanota. But Yamanota itself, you have 5 different trails just around Yamanota that you can hike to. But people always go to the same one.
We have one. You said you're from Savaneta.
Yeah.
We have one where we start from the water tank back there.
Yeah.
And we had it like you hike towards the Yamanota.
Okay. Yeah.
We got there.
Beautiful.
Like we were both like, we feel like we went on vacation. That's how beautiful.
And we, you know what it is? It's untouched.
Yeah.
because people don't know about it, of very few people, and those that know it conserve it. So they're not talking about, hey, listen, but there's one we used to, that's when I was young, no? But going through Roycochi, getting up on the plains of the Roycochi, that's I don't know how they call it in English, but coral. Well, because Aruba was underwater, so there's a coral, and from there to Yamamoto, there's always a walk from Roycochi all the way to Yamamoto. You can walk, and it's pure nature. But those days it was.
Is that the
walking-
one that goes next to the water? Because people up the next to a waterfall.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know there's a waterfall in Aruba that it's probably dry
drinking
now,
water.
but
Drinking water. The Aruba has wells.
Yeah.
Well, it's not wet water. It's not high quality water, but it's drinking
There's
water.
water.
And not fresh. It's really drinking water.
We haven't found that yet, but I've heard stories of it.
Yeah.
So,
Aruba has so much treasure, but it's for the right kind of tourist.
Yeah.
Those that we get now, and I appreciate everybody that choose Aruba as a destination and everything, but those that we have now is more a consumer type of tourist, hotels, beach, nightclubs, good eating, and that's okay, that's thing. But those kind of special tourists that wanna know the nature, wanna do a hike, and
it's the type, I think.
That is our followers, I think.
Yeah.
With the time you start learning, not just based on the numbers that, say, the ATA has, but you start getting an idea that, okay, we have a certain type of tourist. We often say, like, we have more the American tourist, Curacao more the
European,
Dutch or European.
yeah.
I heard even that even for them it's getting more Americanized now.
Americanized,
Yeah.
So you have to adapt to that, but I think you still have to have those options that you can still attract a Dutch tourist to Aruba,
and
for example.
You know what? I don't have the data to think. I think the tourists that come to Aruba stays at the Marriott, Hoya, one of the bigger Ritz-Carlton, and pays $700,000-$800,000 a night.
Yep.
Those are the ones that appreciate the little things because they have everything else.
Yeah.
They appreciate the small snack along the road.
Yeah.
They will appreciate a hike route that you can do. They're the one that we can. If I want to go to a casino, we probably can go to Atlantic City or Las Vegas. So it's a thing,
But yet we've also had like cases, like the craziest story that I've ever had all these years is that a guy comes up to me, a follower, and he says, "Oh, we've been to Aruba for like 20, 30 years, something like that." And so I showed the windmill, the mill.
yeah.
So I filmed there a couple of years ago, and he said, "Oh, I watched your video, but I didn't know where the place was."
Yeah.
And I said, "What? But you've been coming here for like years. How?
And
how
never
do you-
see it.
never driven?"
Yeah.
And so I said, "Where do you normally stay?"
Yeah.
This is at Palm Beach.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah.
Like-
It's in your face.
So that. And
I-
speaking of that, like many times, stories that you and me might know about Aruba because we live here, we were born here.
yeah.
But for someone even coming here for so long, you
And
don't
still
realize
they
that your
realize,
stories
yeah.
are so interesting for them.
Yeah.
But it's not only that, because even for locals, because you guys posted a video, I don't remember when, but about a secret beach location in next to Rogers Beach. I didn't know about it place. You need to go behind a house,
I got a lot. That's
and you guys posted a video, I think 2 years ago.
oh, this is
Long time.
This is a long time ago,
3 or
basically.
4 years ago, but the people are still watching it.
And, but
That's the
I just saw
beautiful
that because
part.
I found that video. I think I saw that this year. I was like, geez, I want to go to that place.
Yeah.
Now it's all
No.
almost closed up a
Yeah,
bit.
no, we don't
but-
allow
but
people from.
It's a
town.
nice place to
Yeah, no.
to see.
Yeah.
No,
That's one
some
of the-
secrets
just-
need to be secrets.
I've been there, but next to it, because when you go to if you go to the Rogers Beach from now Rogers Beach is now
We
closed
went there with
for a
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be closed for a couple of months. I think Because they are, they are rejuvenating, beautification wherever they sing it.
They're
But
building over there. But Roger Beach was more local, and Baby Beach was more tourist. And then you have Satanica Cho that was for neither locals, neither because it was rough. It was with corals and everything, but for diving and shooting fish, it was.
I remember swimming there years ago, but it's not the.
It's not the best swim.
No.
If you go to Boca Grande and Boca all those. There you can swim. There's not the best beach, but it's alone. You're there by yourself. So,
but that's what I also have with her. Like I would come to Boca Grande, for example, and be like, I don't know if I will swim here, and she will humble me and say, "Are you kidding me? We have Scheveningen. This looks really good." And we get that from tourists also, that they say, "Oh, in Jersey I have much worse." So this
I have a story for you.
You don't realize what you have. Even,
of course.
I'll give just one other example: cactus. You see a cactus, like, oh, it's a cactus.
It's huge.
For a tourist, they're like, they're
what
just
the
growing.
hell is that? What the hell is that?
It's the first time they see something like that.
No,
So.
they see it in cartoons or in
But never in real life.
Real life, Well, I lived for 4 years, 5 years in Holland. And
you need to keep it short. We need to,
1 hour already?
1 hour and 1 hour and a half.
1 hour and a half? Oh.
That's all the time is actually.
Okay.
We are not on limit, so
no, it's the editor.
No, I'm just thinking about the editing.
No, but I lived in Maastricht, and making friends. They told me, "Hey, do you dive?" Of course. Which islander doesn't dive, And it was 2000. And I went to the Maas, the river there.
2000 BC, right?
Yeah, 2000 BC. And I had lime green flappers. And I went to the river, but it was a river. It was cold, and I was, I was on my knees, and I couldn't see my flappers. And dude,
That's brown.
yeah, dude, what are we going to do? Diving, but can we see? No, well, not that. No, cold, and I can see nothing. No. No, but Marleen, Hyro, because of the time constraint that Jason is giving us.
But before we close, everyone, because we were supposed to talk about one topic, I forgot about it. Sorry, that's my bad. But so I can keep it as a final question. Do you think that in Aruba the education system they are training young students to you can have a career in the creative industry? Or is something that
I would love to see it.
Yeah, but it's not.
It's
like
not
that.
happening.
No, it's not like that. I told her, like, so my son is 25 now, and I think when he was around 10 or 12 or so, I sent him to. They used to have the Da Vinci Academy.
Maar dus was in front El Gaucho, right?
Yeah,
and Omar Brown, which also was helping at that time, and he went there to. So he at that time he was interested in learning about editing and filming and all of those things, and he enjoyed that course so much. I think it was maybe 3 years or so. And I said, like, oh, why can't they put it at school? Because that's the trend right now. The youth, they are constantly on their phone. The kids at home also. So why not make we tell the kids at home, like, they consume TikTok and YouTube, Netflix and stuff. We tell them, like, make a channel. You never know, like, do crazy stuff on
but because of your background, you can give them that opportunity. But you have to understand, people will say, well, you're not a how we call it, a chef. You're not working as a taxi. You're not working, and it used to be the refinery for technical people. You're not working. So what are you actually doing? And they don't understand that it's an industry in itself.
I mean, look at the Cruz brothers. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, someone may have told them at some point, like, no, don't do it.
Yeah.
Like, go look for a regular job, like they say.
Yeah, sure.
You know, but now look what they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
And-
I
and-
don't know them personally, but
No,
I'm sure they'll have a
we
story that.
should invite
Yeah,
them.
I
At
think
some
they
point,
Should invite
yeah.
them.
they are making a living at what they do.
But
Yeah.
the thing is, in Aruba itself, they're not that famous. I would say.
And the thing I found annoying is that like when you talk about them in Aruba, many people talk bad about them from Aruba,
Yeah.
which is not supposed to be like that,
Crazy.
because
We have that tendency, I think,
Yeah.
Aruba, that we
Like,
don't believe in our own.
yeah, when we did an episode of I think a couple of months ago about the term Rubiano come Rubiano,
Yeah.
I think
which
I
is
saw-
basically it's
Yeah.
it's just Aruba. I think it's like come say Nvidia. You see that thing?
Jealous? No, jealous.
Nvidia is
not
a video card.
No, not the
also,
Nvidia.
Yeah.
It's like Nvidia mata. Sorry, it's whiskey.
Fish, wait, I have ChatGPT.
Envy.
over there.
Envy.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but the thing is, for me to be successful, I have to break Hyro down.
Yeah, but
Why?
I think that's what, when I started watching the podcast you sent me, like, we're from this podcast, and to be honest, I didn't know about it because I never got it in my
Algorithm, yeah, I'm sure.
yeah. But when I started listening, watching it, I was like, this is what we need,
Yeah.
you know. And don't think like, oh, now we're not getting the views that we wish we. No, but because this is a start. This is you guys are doing good. You're inviting good people,
Yeah. And you know what it is? For you, I think you having your business, your family business helps you a lot because you have a steady income,
Yeah.
and you can allow yourself to do. And for most people, that's not the case.
Yeah.
In our case, we have what you call it, businesses that believe in whatever we do. So when I call Destiny Security, it's a friend of mine. Hey, listen, I'm starting a podcast. How much do you need?
Yeah.
He didn't know what a podcast is, or he doesn't consume. How much do you need?
But they believe in what we're doing.
Yeah, and when I can say it, I told him, I need $1,000 a month. Man, and we
Yeah.
negotiated to it's lesser,
Yeah.
but he gave me something.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing we do a show of Frenchies, we do a show in there's sponsors that make it happen so we can do it until we reach a level that it starts paying itself. It becomes a business.
Yeah.
And I think the most problem in creative business is that the startup is so difficult. It's so you have to find yourself what kind of content you're making, or what artist you want to be, and how to monetize it, and how to make a living out of it. And I'm so happy that you're making it.
Yeah.
You are making it, because if you can do it, why not me?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, why not me?
Yeah.
And I'm sure I cannot do what you do, and I'm sure I'm maybe walking along a flower or something and walking by without noticing it, but because of your content, next time I will pay attention.
Yeah, because everybody has a talent for something.
Yeah.
Yes.
Except
Everybody.
Jason doesn't.
See, no?
But so you can produce anything.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be tourism related. We have a lot of other things here, a lot of experts of
Yeah,
so
but
many
the
things.
belief that the creative industry, the section, it can produce that money in Bahamas. We've been through Bahamas and everything. There's a booming business. Colombia started the green orange movement, and they have a booming business, and they believe in artists. They believe in they have criteria. You have to qualify for this and this and this, but that comes with
Something I say a lot to our subscribers when we meet personally and we talk about a lot of these topics, that we say, like, to me in the Caribbean, the smaller islands especially, everything takes years for people to accept it, and then embrace it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Because maybe in Holland or things like that, somebody comes up with an idea. Maybe in a couple of months they're already there.
Yeah.
They change
Yeah.
the law, they change whatever,
Yeah.
and they're doing it.
Yeah.
Here it's like you have to convince people to, change something that's dramatic. Putting an example that I'm just thinking now, like putting windmill.
Yeah.
Is it a good thing? Then you have to convince the people first that it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Not even go in the political part of it, but.
Yeah.
And even with all data that backing up that there is a good thing, still, maybe not.
Because we have a culture that doesn't believe in that. We have music, and I was telling them, music exists so long on Aruba, but still we want to dance to the music, but we don't want to pay the band to play the music.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing.
It's the same
we want
thing
to
with what we are doing.
We want to see your content.
Yeah.
We enjoy the content,
Yeah.
but paying, that's kind of that's different.
Mm-hmm.
But Hyro, Marleen, let's make a pact. Let's make a deal. Whatever you need, whatever our mind and NPC can help.
Thank you.
If it's carrying, we can send Jason to carry something for you.
See.
Reggie is not here.
Reggie's not here today, so.
Whatever you need, promotion, whatever it is that you need, let us know. We can always work something out. And
Also from our side.
Oh, don't tell me that, because I have AM News and I need a host. So. Don't tell me that.
No, you need a Dutch host.
Yeah, I will need a Dutch host. Yeah.
We have Aumenta.nl.
Yeah.
I mean,
Saturday.
Every Saturday we have Aumenta, but in Dutch.
In Dutch.
Okay.
And it's getting a lot of. It's fairly new, basically. So we started this year. No, not long ago. I think it was the first.
Months.
Yeah,
It's
in
becoming
November, I
the
think we
best
started with
brand.
M&M, but it's starting getting traction real fast amongst the Netherlands.
Dutch are different with, since I've been with her, I learn more and more how they see things different than we do. And that's okay. Everybody has their own way, but that maybe I don't know, maybe you can tell they like to read, they like to have other type of news. They don't like the
not only
accidents and things like that.
Not only that, but Arubians itself, but with a higher degree, with a higher education, they would love to have a content at their level. And what we are producing is just that.
Yeah.
We have what happened in the week, but some recap and so. But we have articles that there's a study doing that, and study for that, and the Dutch love to consume that one so much that we have an average of 5,000 or something readers each day, but Saturdays it jumps to 8,000.
Mm-hmm.
And they have two factors. It's the Dutch people and the well-educated persons in Aruba that consume it. But we have also people that don't read the newspaper the whole week, and on Saturdays it's just a free day, then they're reading it on the whole week.
Mm-hmm.
But the Dutch side, sure, we can talk about it,
Leuk.
yeah. And Jason's Dutch is perfect. That's why we have been doing it in English.
Goed zo, leuk.
The last meeting I had to do in Dutch.
Last meeting?
Last meeting I did with the Protestant church, I have to do it in Dutch because I was surprised I didn't fuck it up.
The thing is,
I used to live in the Netherlands for I think 6 years, but
no.
after coming here, you stop speaking Dutch and the language.
You
forget about it.
Yeah.
And I worked for the Windmill Park in Waterpiet for a couple of years, 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
And those we call it Dutchies, those persons that came, they're not speaking the most eloquent Dutch. They're more cowboys, this to the man. And so adapted my Dutch to them. My wife used to work by the hospital, and that's a high level of Dutch.
Yeah.
So when we speak with a friend or everything, and they stay looking at me like, you're speaking funny. And I always say, do you understand me? So, fuck off.
Now that you mention that, this is for a question for Marleen, do Dutch people understand Dutch people from Friesland?
No.
But
That's a whole other language.
Yeah,
there's
I
a whole
can't,
different type of
understand.
Dutch.
Yeah, that's crazy.
From what
language.
part of Holland do you come from?
Well, I was born in Gouderak, a little village
Gouda?
near Gouda.
Yeah, my
In
daughter
the
lives in
south?
Gouda.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I was in school at Gouda.
Yeah.
And then I moved to Utrecht in the
Okay,
middle.
okay. No, my daughter lives in Gouda and studies in Den Haag, so close by.
Yeah.
And we used to live in Maastricht, that's all the way to the south.
Yeah.
And
beautiful.
my younger daughter is planning, she's going next year to Leeuwarden. That's all the way in the
Ja, dat is
north.
dus te vlieg.
Yeah. But
It's all the way about.
I came to Holland. My Dutch was really, really bad, and put the TV on, and there were subtitles for the men speaking in Limburgs in their language.
Yeah.
There's fucking subtitles, and I can understand Dutch, and now you're speaking another language. So, but you adapt to it,
Yeah.
and I'm a talker, so I can always jump to English, Spanish, Dutch, and everything. So I don't care. Yeah.
I was
know.
here.
So, Hyro, thank you. Thank you so much to make time for us to come and have a.
Been fun. Yeah.
Although I'm a bit hurt, it's only one beer that you're doing.
Oh, we're gonna go for it.
Oké. Marleen, heel erg bedankt.
Heel graag gedaan.
That's Dutch for you suckers. No, but thank you for coming. I appreciate what you're doing. I appreciate the job that you did, and we're always talking about okay, let's talk with people that made it. I know you have further plans. I know you wanna be bigger and one time level Mr. Beast or one of those guys. well,
I don't know.
no, but I hope you get the endorsement, and we'll push do whatever we can do to get you that endorsement from Ata and Ahata and the culinary thing, because you're doing such a good job. And if you're talking about regenerative tourism, do talk to the people that do know what they're talking about. And thank you so much for coming. I still have to do the sponsors, but
Dale nomás, dale.
he's so mad at me right now. And then the problem is I don't really care. But dank je naar Destiny Security, dank je naar Jungle Cafe, Bonilicious, Hoofs of Hope, naar Amal, naar Alfis, naar wat is je camera dan?
Sige maar.
Naar Alfis, naar Frenchies, naar Frutos Health, naar
Jamita.
bawa ke video, Rubang. Para olvidar Jamie. Pero Jamie também tem episódio de outra perspectiva.
Graba giz.
GC. Na Letvos, na Arushot, começar. Da tour general que quer de nós, ao mainda foral, ao mainda que tu sponsor nan que tá sa pakiko na no corre bem ainda, pero nada quer de nós, tanta permitir nos fazer aqui na NPC e canal que tá fazendo tour production na Jason que tá
Multitask hours. É mais difícil como pensa.
A Jason da host e da producer. Se você quieto, você
Você. Me tava quieto, I was quiet today because I had to manage the cameras and the switches.
Pero Marico Hyro também sa começar com câmera que você grava mesmo. You never know. Hey, vou portar the next big thing. E se botar the next big thing, hey, cara, di ba nós toco se vergüenza. Hey, Jason, outro bom
episode.
So, good luck for editing. Wapas ali bom. That's it.
As coisas aqui também tem OP issues. Mas como é que tem outra aqui não?
Bota insinuar que tá Reggie issue.
Não, é Reggie não.
Reggie?
Quando é aí nada.
Okay, pero the next episode.
Não é só, não é Reggie, não. Se você Reggie não é outro, pero Reggie tem que nada. Não é só? Até não só.